Wow, it's packed, isn't it? Woo. Okay. I'm a poet, and the poem that I had to perform, I changed my mind this morning. I got up at 6:36 a.m. and the poem was in my mind, so I've changed it. So it's very fresh, very new, but it just has to come out. So bear with me. I'll start it off with a quote. Poetry is when emotion has found its thought and the thought has found words. This is by a guy called Robert Frost. I don't write poetry. I don't. Poetry writes me. It visits me whilst I'm sleeping and wakes me from my dreams. It comes and goes as it chooses. To leave it refuses. Gives me no excuses. Introduces then reduces the sum of my parts to the verses it produces. Stays to visit for as long as it uses me. To convey the message, to speak the lesson, to voice the blessing. It visits on my spirit and psyche. This silent, formless entity picks me up, fills and engulfs my brain with whispered words, triumphant roars, and again squeals of delight and memories of rhymes and times I've never visited before. It opens aura to doors to pathways in my mind made dormant and numb from internal battles inside. It revives my spirit, tells it what it must become, shows it how to laugh, how to leap, how to soar, and how to run. Forces its way out like smoke through gaps. It wraps and traps me in its streams. I get caught up in daydreams with words pouring from my lips, floating out my mouth like weighted cargo ships, like ancient maritime soul scripts. Setting sail for distant lands of thought and emotion and verse, while rivers and oceans of lyrics from third eye drown me in their insistent grip to be written and to be heard. See, I'm a servant to the word, a willing victim to this prison of metaphors and similes, of sonnets and prose. I lay supplicant before meaning, and I love how it controls me. I love how it holds me in a secure, knowing embrace that I'll again see poetry's face when poetry has something to say in a language that invokes that feeling I just scrabble to obey. So when there's no pen to cut and slice a picture of the glory, I'm using notes on iPhones to try and capture and retell the story. Where there's neither, I'm repeating, gorging myself like I'm eating and ingesting the verse I immerse, research, search, rehearse, and the search makes me late for work and late to bed. Have nightly broken sleep from poetry running through my head like a wild, confined, mythical beast. I work to subdue its need with a promise of tomorrow. So I'll borrow my mind's etymology to write this anthology, and poetry makes no apology how it stalks and follows me. It turns pain into power and wounds into words. Poetry takes all my hurt and gives me a way to purge all of my woes and all of my worries, to spin and weave into unknown stories, traveling unwritten territories, charting unexplored lands, in houses that house this woman's divinity, pouring out from between clasped hands like desert sand. The word is powerful and it demands. Its bricks can build up the structure of a man and tear down the foundation of a nation. The power of speech spells, misspells and dispels griots, truths and myths, spoken hieroglyphs through intonation and incantations, vibrations of frequency that make and create. If libraries are places where lies live, but the truth is hidden, I have no fear I'll lose the teaching. It will show itself unbidden, because poetry is always there, always reaching at the back of my mind. It's taking seats in receptors and synapses of grey matter. It shatters. I may not matter to many, but to me this black life matters. So I'm going to continue to speak life into the youth and deconstructing untruths, breaking down and analysing all the abuse. Some may call me uncouth, but when I bite down, I offer you my wisdom tooth. And I'll keep writing and reciting, keep on inviting, keep on fighting, keep on sparking up the air with words like lightning. I'm inviting the free. Many call me naive, this African daughter of Eve, who wears her heart on her sleeve and continually strives for the right thing. I'm about uniting, locally and globally, talking honestly and openly, but most notably, for the poets and the lyricists and the wordsmiths, I'm sure that you'll agree, I don't write poetry, poetry writes me. Thank you.